Morning all, I'm Johnny B and welcome to Sunny Coast Celtic episode 96. Well, here we go again, on the verge of another Old Firm game at the Piggery. Is it going to be better than the game last week? When I say better, it was a game of two halves last week, wasn't it? First half we were terrible, and the second half they were terrible. And you can say we played really well in the second half and they were shite. And you could say the same about the first half. So what we need to do this weekend is start much better. We've got to get on the front foot. We can't be just pushed back because their balls that are coming in that box, we're not defending them as well as what we should be. Therefore, we need to try and cut out the crosses coming in. You got that young boy, Mikey Moore. Great, he's only 18. It's hard to believe he's only 18 and he's playing really well against us. And that's the one player in their team that you just got to stop for playing. I mean, a lot of times they try and put somebody on Callum McGregor. You stop Callum McGregor playing, the whole Celtic team struggle. And I think if you stop this boy playing, then they'll struggle. Because they don't look like they've got another player who can go forward as much as this boy. He seems to want the ball, he seems to want to take players on, where the rest of them don't want to play that risk-free football. They want to play a 2-yard pass back the way or forward. He'll just go for it. And that's the players that you want in your team, players that take the initiative and go, you know what, I'm going to go here and I'm going to see what they can stop me. And that's what we want. That's what they want, but that's what we don't want. So we've got to try and snuff him out the game a little bit and then take control of it. Even the game up at Pittodrie, bits and pieces we were slow. Again, we got after a flyer. I mean, you look at Kieran Tierney, he's getting himself in some positions in the box, isn't he? He's just looking at one of our forwards, because the forwards can't do the job that he's doing. So, it's going to be a cracker. Am I looking forward to it? I'm looking forward to it much more than I was last week's game. Because I think now that I've seen us playing against Aberdeen and I've seen what we done in the second half, I'm thinking, okay, they must be scared of us now, because if we play the way that we can play, we will win this game. If we don't start well, we're going to put ourselves under pressure again. And cup games, anything can happen. It's end to end. Everybody always looks knackered in the last 10 minutes. So we seem to come on strongest then. So what we need to do is just start better. Now, who's it going to go with in consideration with the last two games that we've played away from home, at the Piggery and then up at Pittodrie? So he's going to go with Sinisalo in goals. So he's done nothing wrong. He's played really well. No mistakes. And touch wood, it just keeps happening. His distribution is good. He's even the way he talks after the game. I listen to his accent and I think he's been in Glasgow for years. You can tell that we kind of bit of Glaswegian in there, isn't there? But good young boy, good head on his shoulders, and let's hope he just keeps going, because I'd love to see him in. If he's in goals at the end of the season, we win the league. The only way he'll be dropped now is if he has a couple of stinkers. So let's hope he just keeps going. Right back will be a Razio. He shows a bit of fight and a bit of spirit, and he's got that wee bit of quality and all going forward. We just defend. If we're going forward, yeah, we'll get you in there, but your job right now is to defend, because that wee Moore's going to be on that side of the park, and between him and a midfielder and maybe the wing back, we've just got to try and sniff him out, get him away for the ball, give him the ball in his own half, but don't get it in that other half. So Arazi will be right back, Kieran Tierney will be left back. Do you know what? When Sarachi comes on, he's a breath of fresh air. He gets himself into the positions that Greg Taylor used to get into. Instead of going outside, he gets himself inside and creates that wee overlap on the outside, because if they don't come in and get him, there's more space out there. If they leave it in the wing, he comes in, the ball comes inside and he's away. So he's really good at that inverted sort of a left back role. So it'll be Kieran, but you can't drop him. He's been scoring goals, so this will be his third goal. 3 goals in a row will be this week when Kieran scores against Rankers. In centre half, who's he going to go with? Does he trust he can come back in? Is he going to go with Trusty and Scales? Is it going to go with Benji Arthur and Scales? I think Scales will be in there. Martin could surprise us and put Trusty on the left hand side and maybe Benji Arthur on the right. He could do that. I don't think he will. I think Scales has been playing well. He set up the goal up at Pittodrie. I know it was a bit of an acrobatic fucking here we go, but anyway, gets himself in the right position, so that's what we want. So he's always a threat. When we get corners, he seems to get his head on the ball. So I'm going to go with it. He's going to come out with Trusty and Scales. I think that'll be the two in the middle, and that would be okay for me. And then you've always got one of them to bring on if one of them's having a fucking shitty game or whatever. That'll be them. Now here's the thing in the midfield. I think he'll go with Cal McGregor because he just controls everything, and hopefully he learns from the first half last week. So Callum McGregor will be in there just to sort of guide everybody around. I think he's got to go with Hatate now after his performances. I think he's got to go with him. And then he's going to go with Nygren. I don't want him to go with Nygren. I'd rather it was Hatate and Luke McCown. And I would put Benji up front. I know I've said it in the last 2 or 3 shows. Benji is just a goal scorer. He knows where the ball's going to be. He's a big boy, he can hold it up. I don't get why we're not playing him through the middle, because everything else we've got through there isn't working. And just because it's Rankers away, I would be putting Tenecti on the left and I would put Hatate on the right. And Hatate's been awful, but just he's running, and that's what you need in that first half. You need to put their defenders under pressure, and he's better at doing that, which keeps him in hitting that long ball because he puts them under pressure. That's what we want. That's what they done in the second half, and we sniffed it out. Every time it went to their goalkeeper, Big Jack Butterfingers, every time it went to him, he had it out the field or up the park. He scuffed a few of them out the park right away because Maeda was putting pressure on him. In the first half, they were able to play out for the back a wee bit and then get the ball into that wee Mikey Moore and then create a bit of trouble for there. So the more pressure we can put him on, the better. So I think that's how he's going to go. He's going to go McGregor, Nygren and Hatate. Hopefully Hatate's on his game. If he's on his game, we will win the game. And then he'll go with Tenecti. I know what I've just said where I think he'll go, but I don't know if he will. I think he'll probably put Maeda through the middle and he'll put Yang or Jamesy Forrest on the right wing. Now, again, if he's going to go that way, which I don't want him to, but I think, knowing Martin, you can read him like a book sometimes. But James Forrest surely deserves a start rather than Yang. And then when people get a bit tired, you can bring Yang on. But Jamesy Forrest, the last 2 games, he's set up the last 2 goals. So he's not going to last you a full game, Jamesy. He'll be knackered in the second half, but I think he could put them under a wee bit of pressure. Because don't forget, if we go a goal up at the Piggery this weekend, the fans will get on their case because of what happened last week. So there's a whole load of scenarios that Martin can go with. And if everybody picked a team, we would all have a different side. So we'll just have to wait and see what the boss man comes up with. Whatever he comes up with, I'm alright, because he sort of gets you at a jail to the end. Even if he does make a pig's arse of the team, he seems to get it right in the second half. So, and Martin we trust, and that's all we can do. And to go there and win in the Scottish Cup quarter-final, that'll be a big feather in his cap. Not that he needs another feather in his cap, but this would be a big one. Because if we win this game on Sunday, we will win the Scottish Cup. Nobody else will stop us. So we've got to get through this one. And here's my prediction. No matter what happens on Sunday against Rankers, Celtic will win the league. We're just getting stronger. I know if we get beat, the only thing we've got to play for is the league then. And then that makes us even more dangerous. So teams need to watch it. I know Hearts and Motherwell are going well, but both of them still got to come to Parkhead and try and take something off us. And I think it'll be too big a game not to. This is where we got to get the crowd back in. This is where it counts now. We can't. It doesn't matter what happens on Sunday. We're away from home. We'll fill that Broomloan Road. I remember going there when it was Old Firm games, and the atmosphere was magic when you're behind the goals. You could always pick somebody out in the crowd, and they could pick you out, and it was like, see you. That was magic, and that's what it's going to be on Sunday. It's going to be mere even. The players will run out the tunnel and just look at that whole end full of Celtic supporters, tricolours, flags, everything. So it's going to be absolutely magic. This is the first time I've been looking forward to a game at the Piggery for years because of this carry on with no crowd getting let in. So I'll be up there, and let's hope we all will be. What's my prediction for the score this weekend? My prediction is Celtic will win 3-2. Who will score the first goal? Benji again. He just looks like the only player that's going to put the ball in the net, and that's what I'm saying. I think if he plays up front, he definitely scores the first goal. Plays in the midfield, he'll still go the first goal. He's just one of the players that knows where to be. Now, can I just ask, if you don't like or whatever, give us a wee like on the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Helps me going forward, puts a bit of trust in what I'm talking about. More people want to subscribe and listen to this bullshit. The more the better. And please, if you fancy commenting, put a comment down. I'll try and get back to everyone, but it's good so far. The banter's good. I don't care who it is that writes back, but I like a laugh, as everybody that knows me knows what I'm like. So yeah, keep them coming. Please subscribe and like, and I'll talk to you after the game on Sunday. So have a great weekend, and hail, hail.